All right, let's move on to the next segment. This is kind of a unique feature. We have allowed the candidates to each pose a question to each other. Ms. Frizzel has elected to ask the first question, and each of the candidates will have 60 seconds to respond to this one without a rebuttal. Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Adams, the Friends of the Hills had to sue the city of Riverside 17 times for violating our growth control laws, Proposition R and Measure C. They won on all cases except one. In fact, we as citizens had to sue on Rancho La Sierra, and the judge ruled in all 4 counts in our favor. This was all during your term of office as councilman and included an important Ward 7 area known as Rancho La Sierra, Riverland, and La Sierra Hills, protected by the voters' mandated laws. Why did you vote for all of these violations, and where do you stand on Proposition R and Measure C?
Well, I support all laws. That was the oath I took. These lawsuits were not with us, they were with the property owners. And what this was, the Rancho La Sierra project, are property owners that have owned land for over 60 years. And those property owners had their property rights stolen from them, saying they can't build on their own land. Now there's an effort to steal their land through eminent domain to build a regional park and not even pay them for their property. The Rancho La Sierra project in place is an award-winning project that protects our hills and open spaces. Prop R and Measure C does not protect our hills. You can still build 150 homes on the hills above La Sierra University if we allow that to continue. So the challenge was by the property owners to regain their property rights to be able to do on their property what they are supposed to be allowed to do. So I support property owners' rights, and I support the laws, and I have never voted to break a law and never will.
10 seconds. Okay. Mr. Adams, it's now up to you to ask your question.
Okay. I need to get my little reading glasses out. The majority of the Riverside Renaissance is improvements to our streets, parks, water system, sewer system, and electrical utilities. These were neglected for many decades by my predecessors. Make the improvement and push the problem forward for us now to deal with in a crisis. Why wasn't this done when you were in office before?
Well, I remember the Parks director coming to me at a reception at one time, and he said, "Terry, do you realize that you were instrumental in bringing 14 parks to this city?" 14 parks. Also, the Citrus Heritage Park was one of my involvements that I started getting the people together so that we could have there, and went and fought with other cities that wanted it. As far as the infrastructure and things like that, this is something that I've always worked for. One of the things that I think that he is missing the boat on is that every council person has a stage where they do certain things. Over the time, things need improvements. You need to have capital improvement programs to progress this, but recall that Ward 7 was a county area with very, very little improvements. It wasn't going to be corrected over every night. The sad part about it, he is taking credit for things that were done for years by all the council members that preceded him and even me. In fact, the widening of Rancho La Sierra was even started before I got in, but there were no funds to do it. And it finally got accomplished, but it wasn't because of him.
All right.